Today, we're diving into the latest buzz from the tech world, specifically about Apple's highly anticipated iPhone 16 Pro. According to a recent rumor swirling around the tech community, the iPhone 16 Pro might be brighter than ever before. Stick around as we unpack all the juicy details. So, what's the scoop? Well, a rumor originating from China, shared by the user InstaDigital on Weibo, suggests that the upcoming iPhone 16 Pro will feature a display that's a hopping 20% brighter than its predecessor. That's right, folks, we're talking about a significant leap in brightness here. But hold on a second, let's clarify something. When we say brighter, we're not just referring to peak HDR brightness. No, this rumor specifically points towards the typical brightness of the device. To put it into perspective, the iPhone 15 Pro currently boasts the typical brightness of 1000 nits. Now, brace yourselves because the iPhone 16 Pro is rumored to crank it up to a dazzling 1200 nits. That's quite the upgrade, wouldn't you agree? Now, before we get too carried away, let's address the different brightness modes we're dealing with here. You see, it's not just a matter of one brightness setting fits all. We've got manual brightness, typical brightness, high brightness mode brightness, and let's not forget about HDR peak brightness. Phew, that's a lot to keep track of. According to our source, while the typical brightness is getting a boost, a peak high brightness mode is expected to remain unchanged. However, there seems to be a bit of confusion surrounding the numbers. Our insider claims that the iPhone 16 Pro will maintain the same peak brightness as its predecessor at 1600 nits. But here's where it gets interesting. The current iPhone model can actually reach up to 2000 nits. So it appears there's a discrepancy that needs sorting out. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the credibility of the source. It's no secret that the tech rumor mill can be a bit, well, unpredictable at times. The individual behind this particular leak has a somewhat mixed track record when it comes to Apple-related rumors. However, it's worth noting that they have accurately predicted several Apple launches in the past, so while we should take this with a grain of salt, it's not entirely dismissible. Ultimately, only time will tell whether this rumor holds water, but hey, speculation is all part of the fun, right? In conclusion, the prospect of an iPhone 16 Pro with a brighter display is certainly tantalizing. Given the recent trend of increased brightness in the Android sphere, it wouldn't be surprising to see Apple follow suit. After all, innovation is the name of the game in the tech world. Well, that wraps up today's video. What are your thoughts on this latest rumor? Are you excited about the possibility of a brighter iPhone display, or do you prefer other features to take the spotlight? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button. In just a few months' time, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will succeed the iPhone 15 Pro Max and take on the mantle as the best and most advanced iPhone out there. Although there's plenty of time until September and a lot can change, we seem to know a lot about the upcoming top iPhone model based on rumors and leaks. How is the iPhone 16 Pro Max shaping up against its predecessor? What's changing and what's staying the same? Let's see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max shapes up against the current best iPhone Apple has in its roster. First up, let's talk about design and size. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will inherit the same design language as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, employing the same titanium frame with a completely flat screen. The major difference between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be size. The upcoming iPhone screen will grow to 6.9 inches across, a significant bump over the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 6.7-inch display. To achieve this, they're likely shrinking the bezels down even further and making the phone itself slightly larger overall. As per the rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will measure 163mm in height and 77.58mm in width versus 159.9mm and 76.7mm for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, respectively. A small but notable change, all things considered. The iPhone 15 Pro Max debuted with an action button instead of a mute switch and a USB Type-C port at the bottom, so those two features will be carrying over to the newer model as well. However, the iPhone 16 series will be scoring another button, dubbed the Capture button. Colors-wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available in 4 understated and titanium-inspired colors. We've heard that Apple might use another titanium processing technique that will make the iPhone 16 Pro Max glossier and also more capable of retaining colors. Moving on to display differences. As mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come along with a significantly larger display, measuring at 6.9 inches across. Aside from the size, we don't clearly expect any other major changes. We're certainly getting a liquid Retina XDR display with an OLED panel delivering superb colors, contrast, and exceptional maximum brightness. The screen will support 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, making scrolling through the interface and on-screen content way smoother. Now let's delve into performance and software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will feature a second-generation 3nm chip, possibly dubbed Apple A18 Pro. As one can imagine, we expect that the Apple A18 Pro will have better performance than the Apple A17 Pro. Due to the heavily rumored focus on AI for both iOS and the iPhone 16 range, we expect that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come with a much improved neural engine to take care of all the generative AI features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be a first to debut iOS 18 with a focus on artificial intelligence features. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max will also support faster Wi-Fi 7 and a more power-efficient 5G modem, keeping you future-proofed on the connectivity front. Let's talk about the camera. As the iPhone 15 Pro Max delivers a host of important camera features, chief among which is the new 120mm telephoto lens, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could finally address one of the forgotten cameras that hasn't recently scored any significant overhauls, the ultra-wide. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that Apple will be introducing a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When it comes to audio quality, iPhone Pro Max devices are always up there with the best, setting the benchmarks for all other manufacturers to measure up against. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will be no exception. The same generally applies to haptics too. iPhones are arguably the best devices when it comes to haptic feedback, giving us precise and accurate vibrations that are sufficiently strong yet not overpowering. Lastly, battery life and charging. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly feature a much larger 4,676 mAh battery compared to the 4,422 mAh battery in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Charging-wise, we haven't heard anything about a potential charging speed increase, but we hope to see one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So far, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is shaping up to be a logical improvement to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, delivering key upgrades in important areas like screen size, performance, AI, and battery life. Thus far, we haven't heard anything particular about a potential price increase, so it's safe to assume that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will start at $1,199 for the 256GB version. Of course, if there's an iPhone 15 Pro Max in your pocket, then you'll probably have few reasons to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Stay tuned for more updates on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as we get closer to its release date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.